What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of 101 Sports and Cards. Always, I'm Nathan Holloway, and with me, Josh.
What's going on?
So it's going to be a lot of mixture today. So I'm basically every sport that's going on. I'll say that because we're even throwing in WWE, we're throwing in hockey because of the hockey playoffs. But of course, we're going to start in the NFL, where I will be giving my mock draft here in a second. I'll make you wait for it because I know all of you are ready to hear it and know how wrong I'm going to be, because I know I will get one pick right, and that's the first pick. Talking about the draft, the Browns and the Giants are fielding calls for their picks. Of course, the Browns, they have the second pick. The Giants have the third pick. The Giants are they are expected to trade back up into the first round, possibly move down to take a QB instead of drafting one at 3. I'm gonna say they're going to take a QB at 3, which is probably going to be completely wrong, but. Knowing the Giants, who knows? The Giants, oh my God. The Titans announced that they will keep the first overall pick. They're not going to trade it. GM came out and said it. I think everybody knew this. Congratulations to Will Levis. Your career's over. Although apparently there's been a ton of teams calling about him. I don't know what team would want him. We talking about like Canadian Football League teams, the UFL? They calling? Dude sucks. He proved that last year. Kirk Cousins is at Falcons workout despite trade rumors. The Vikings, Browns, and Steelers are all connected to him. Of course, the first round of the draft could decide his future. Cousins did tell the organization that he does not want to be traded until the first round because he doesn't want, something to happen like in Atlanta last year where he signed with them. They took Michael Penix in the first round, and then he got, replaced. So, would you welcome a return of Kirk to Minnesota?
No. We moved on from him. Give JJ a shot.
I'd rather have Kurt. I'm going to tell you right now, the Browns are not going to do anything. They're probably going to take a QB in the draft. The most logical landing spot is the Steelers, because pretty sure Aaron Rodgers isn't going to go there, because I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play after his little thing on Pat McAfee last week. James Cook is not at Bills' voluntary workouts amid contract talks. It's a massive thing for the Bills. Of course, running back position is the easiest to replace, but James Cook's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
George Kittle is not at 49ers' voluntary workouts amid contract talks. Brock Purdy is, surprisingly. So what I take from that, and I wrote an article about this, is that Purdy is probably close to signing an extension where Kittle is not. Now, I will say that Brock Purdy does not deserve top-tier quarterback money. I agree wholeheartedly with Chris Sims from NFL, from NBC, NFL on NBC. He went off on Brock Purdy earlier this week, saying that he does not deserve top 10 QB money because he's not a top 10 QB, and I agree. He went on and said that, it's not that hard, that, when 49ers built a damn all-star team around you. And you saw last year, when most of them got hurt, what did Purdy do? Didn't play well. It's going to be the same thing that happens this year, especially if they don't sign Kittle to an extension, he ain't going to play. You're already without Debo. So the smart thing to do would to just be trading Brock Purdy because he's not that good. Whatever you get for him is going to be much better than what you use, since you used the last pick in the draft for him. Now, of course, you used the third overall pick to draft Trey Lance, who he replaced. And then just not pay money and draft a QB, because you're clearly in a rebuild anyway at this point. Your championship window's over. But that's my thoughts. So before I get into the mock draft, the over-under for quarterbacks in the first round is 2.5. So we're going to go through, and I want you, since I'm going to give everything for my first round, I want you to actually have a say. So, Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Tyler Show, I think that's how you say his name, and maybe Shao. Don't really know. I don't know much about him. And Jalen Milroe are expected to be potential. Well, two of them are going to be first-round picks. Ward and Sanders are going to be first-round picks. Yeah. The others could be first-round picks. Do you see any of them going in the first round outside of Ward and Shadur Sanders? Of course, I will say this in
I see Milroe going in the first round just because of the Bama thing, and he is talented.
Over Jackson Dart. People are saying Jackson Dart is going to get taken before Shedeur Sanders. I don't think so.
I don't think Jackson Dart gets
I
drafted in
think
the first round.
I think Jackson Dart is the second best quarterback in this class.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean,
This class sucks.
to be honest, Jalen Milroe is either second or third because he has the potential. He's not there yet. He needs a lot of work. He's like Josh Allen, except
not big.
I would say he's more athletic, but not big.
He's the Anthony Richardson of this. He is the guy that you draft, you take a chance on.
Better, because Anthony Richardson blows.
You take a chance on him, and you hope you can develop him. And I don't know. I don't really pay attention, but I know there's 2 guaranteed ones. The other 2 I don't know yet. I would say Undle. The 2.5. Or what is it?
2.5.
It's Undle.
I'm going to tell you that I have every single one of these going in the first round. Now, will that happen? Probably not. I made this on Sunday. There's been a lot of reports that came out. I just didn't feel like redoing it because I have more important things to worry about than making up a mock draft. I don't get paid, the thousands of dollars that, all these idiots do to make them, like the dude for ESPN, whatever the hell his name is. Can't think of it. Mel Kiper. I don't get paid to just, cover the draft. That's all he does. That's the only time he's on TV. And so, when you do that, you make, 20 different mock drafts, which is so unnecessary. And I hate that people do it. That's why I only give you one. And it will be completely wrong. But I know I will get one pick right because the first overall pick to the Tennessee Titans, whenever the draft opens up tomorrow night from Green Bay, is going to be Cam Ward. I believe everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Second, by the way, I do not have any mock trades. I'm not one of them guys that goes in. I'm not trying to figure out mock trades. This is how it's going to be. Now, there's going to be teams that trade down. There's going to be teams that trade up. Because after the top 10, technically after really the top 5, after you get past, like Ashton Genty and all of them, Tyler Warren is another great player. After them, it drops off. So after the top 10, this class drops off a ton of, star caliber players. I mean, there's a lot of good players. It's a deep class. But not, one of them that, you add them, you're going to be a championship contender. I mean, even with these guys, adding some of these guys, it's not going to be a championship contender because there's a reason that you got, a high enough pick. Because you're just bad. Second overall, I have the Browns taking Travis Hunter. In my opinion, Travis Hunter shouldn't be a first-round pick. Because he's not good. Third, I have the Giants taking Shedeur Sanders. Another guy who should not be a first-round pick. Because he's not good. There's also been many ahead of the draft. There's been an anonymous GM said that he reminds him of Johnny Manziel because of his antics. And another GM said that, now this could be, GMs going out and saying some bad things. So it's like, yeah, other teams listen and they fall to them. But usually that doesn't happen. This ain't Draft Day, which is a great movie. Love the movie. But, we're not talking about a dude. If you've never seen Draft Day, watch it. I'm also going to spoil it right now. But if you've been on Twitter or anything this week, it's already been spoiled. But this ain't about, a guy. Have you ever seen Draft Day?
No.
Great movie. This ain't about a guy, who you want to take first overall and nobody shows up to his birthday party. And so he drops. That doesn't happen in real life. I'll tell you that right now. Great movie, though. Number 4, I have the Patriots with the Giants taking Shedeur Sanders. That means that Abdul Carter will fall straight to the Patriots. At number 4, Abdul Carter is the best player in this draft class, and it's not even close. If the Browns were smart, they would take him second overall because a defensive line of Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett, pretty good. But they really want Travis. At number 5, the Jags taking defensive tackle Mason Graham. The Jags have also been interested in Ashton Genty. I have Ashton Genty going number 6 to the Raiders because they really need a running back. But to be honest, a running back should still not be taken in the first round. To the Jets at number 7, I have offensive tackle Will Campbell. At number 8, I have the Panthers taking Jalen Walker. At number 9 is the next QB taken. I have the Saints taking Jackson Dart. Many people believe this is where Shedeur Sanders will fall if the Giants don't take him. Number 10, I have the Bears taking Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is one of the best players in this draft. In my opinion, he's the third best player. It's Abdul Carter, Genty, and then Tyler Warren, just off pure
talent.
Yeah. Couldn't think of the word. Number 11, the 49ers take Will Johnson. This would be a massive boost to their secondary. He's a corner, if you didn't know that. Number 12, I have the Cowboys taking wide receiver. I'm going to botch his name because I don't actually know how to spell his name. He's the best wide receiver in the class. So. Is that how you say it? Tetro?
I think it's Tetro. I've told like 5 different ways, but he's good.
I'm going to call him Teteroa McMillan. He is very good out of Arizona. Number 13, I have the Dolphins taking offensive tackle Armand Mimbau. Could be Mimbu. I don't really know. Why do I have the Colts taking Tyler Warren at number 14? Son of a gun. Instead, we're going to change this. The Colts are not going to take Tyler Warren because clearly I already have the Bears taking him. I knew I screwed something up. I always do. Every year. I'm going to have the Colts taking tight end Colston Loveland, who I have going 22 to the Chargers. But they need... There's not much the Colts need besides QB. But they're not going to take a QB because they want to have a little QB battle between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, battle of mid-QBs. Man. Other than that, they have a really solid roster. They need a tight end, though. So, I have them taking Colston Loveland. Now I got to find a new guy down here. Damn it. At number 15, I have the Falcons taking Jihad Campbell. He's a linebacker. Cardinals, I have them at 16 taking offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. 17, I have the Bengals taking Michael Williams. Can't even read my own handwriting. Michael Williams. Number 18, I have the Chargers. The Seahawks taking wide receiver Matthew Golden. This is probably... every mock draft I saw, none of them had the Seahawks taking a wide receiver. What do the Seahawks need more than anything? A wide receiver, right?
Because they have one.
Yeah, because they decided to trade literally everybody on their team. At number 19, I have the Bucks taking cornerback.
Can't help you down.
Jade Barron. Is that his name? I don't know. I can't read my handwriting. Jade Barron. At number 20, I have the Broncos taking wide receiver. In my opinion, the best wide receiver in this draft class. Emeka Egbuka. Number 21, I have the Steelers taking quarterback Tyler Shaw from Louisville. Yes, I put him over Jalen Milroe. At number 22, I have the Chargers taking. Give me a second. Chargers need defense. They need a corner. I have the Chargers taking. I have him on. Trey Amos from Ole Miss. I'm going to tell you right now, since I just came up with that on the fly, he's not going to be a first-round pick because he's like the 6th best corner. But you never know. There's always somebody who reaches. At number 23, I have the Packers laughably taking wide receiver Luther Burden the third because as a Packers fan, you know they're going to take either a defensive player who probably sucks and needs a lot of work, or they're going to take an offensive lineman because God forbid we take, a skill position player. Now, I would love Luther Burden. The Packers actually put on their Twitter account last week something about Luther Burden. That's the first time I've seen them put anything about a prospect, so maybe they will take him. I would love that. He was amazing at Mizzou, although I hate Mizzou. But, yeah. Will it happen? Hell no. This is me just being... This is me wanting this as a fan. But it won't happen. At number 24, I have the Vikings taking the second best corner in the draft, Maxwell Harrison. It's very good out of Kentucky. You know who he is? Number 25, the Texans taking offensive lineman Gray Zabel. Number 26, this is where my final QB of the first round comes. I have the Los Angeles Rams, yes. The Super Bowl contending Los Angeles Rams taking Jalen Milroe to be the replacement for Matthew Stafford in the coming years. It's a reach. I know. Will this happen? No, it won't. Because Jalen Milroe is going to fall to 33 to the Browns. But let me dream. If this comes true, if you're betting on this, because there is a bet, it is 2.5 for quarterbacks in the first round. You can't actively bet on it. I would not bet the over. Do not listen to me. With 5 QBs in the first round, I would not bet the over. I'm going to be lucky to see 2. At number 27, I have the Ravens taking offensive lineman Josh Simmons. Number 28, this is very low. This guy is one of the best players in this draft class. He kind of fell, I believe he got hurt last year at some point. Every mock draft, I saw him being taken very, very low. I wanted to put him higher, but I went along with everybody else's draft class, and this would be an absolute steal for the Detroit Lions in James Pierce Jr., who is one of the best defensive players in this draft class, probably the second best. Second best, edge rusher outside of Abdul Carter. At number 29, the Commanders taking Ohio State's very own Jack Sawyer. Number 30, I have the Bills taking Siobhan Ravel Jr. He's a corner. 31, I have the Chiefs taking Mike Green. And to round out the first round, at number 32, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles take safety Malachi Starks. Now, will any of this come true? Yes, because Cam Ward is going to be the first overall pick, so I guarantee you I will get 1 right. I'm going to guarantee you I get at least 3 right in this first round. Now, that is 3 for 32. It's terrible. But I will guarantee it that I get at least 3 right.
Thanks, Chuck.
Shut up.
I'm not even going to make one. Because
yeah.
I know about 6 of them.
All I got to say, this draft class after the top 10, it holy crap. It just... It's terrible. But there's a lot of good. It's deep. It falls off talent like superstar, like star-wise. And to be honest, there's going to be maybe 4 or 5 superstars to come out of this draft class. And that's going to be, I believe Cam Ward is going to be a superstar. A lot of people have said that, he's not going to be the best QB. I think he's going to be very good. I'm not going to go like Louis Riddick and compare him to, he's Patrick Mahomes-esque. Because, it seems like every year there's that one guy that gets compared to Patrick Mahomes. It's like you really can't compare anybody to Patrick Mahomes. He, in my opinion, he is the most skilled quarterback to ever play the game, passing Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers, the last 3 seasons, he hasn't been skilled. He's been skilled off the court, off the field, off the court, off the field. Running his mouth. That's about it. So yeah, that's a mock draft. The draft is Thursday night, so the night that you're listening to this. Thursday night from Green Bay. It's on every network imaginable. I'm pretty sure it's on ABC, ESPN, NFL Network. You look at a sports channel, it's going to be on it. As long as they cover the NFL. Don't go to MLB Network. It's not going to be on there. At least I hope not. Moving on to the association. The NBA playoffs are in the first round right now. The Thunder lead the Grizzlies 2-0. Game 1 was a doozy. What a game. Thunder won by 51 points. It was the 5th largest win in postseason history, the largest win ever in a Game 1. They then backed that up with a 19-point victory last night to take a 2-0 series lead. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be a sweep. The Grizzlies don't look like a true basketball team. And the reason for that is Ja Morant. Game 3 is Thursday night. The Warriors lead the Rockets 1-0. Game 2 is tonight. By the time you listen to this, you'll know who won. Lakers and Timberwolves are tied 1-1. A great game last night. Game 3 is Friday. Luka joined George Mikan and I think it was Kareem as the only players to score 35 points or more in their first 2 Lakers playoff games, which is pretty elite company. Most of you probably don't know who George Mikan is because he played at the beginning of the NBA. But George Mikan's
one of the greatest players of all time.
He is one of the greatest players of all time and gets absolutely zero love because all of his pictures are in black and white.
Yeah.
The Nuggets and Clippers are tied 1-1. Game 3 is Thursday night. This has been the best series, like I said it would be. The Cavs lead the Heat 1-0. I'm pretty sure the Cavs are winning right now. Game 2 is happening right now. Celtics lead the Magic 1-0. Their Game 2 is right now. They were narrowly defeating the Magic. Of course, Jason Tatum is out tonight with a wrist injury. after X-rays came back negative, which was very interesting. Hopefully he returns for Game 3. The Celtics are still going to be able to get by the Magic because, I mean, although the Magic are great defensively, they can't make shots. They're the worst shooting team in the league. They might actually be the worst shooting. Maybe the Jazz. Maybe the Jazz are worse. But at this point, do we even count the Utah Jazz as a team? When was the last time the Jazz were relevant? When they had Gordon Hayward?
2000. When they made the playoffs and was the best team in basketball.
Oh, yeah. That little fluke of a year.
Yeah. Like
Lauri Markkanen's first year there. Yeah, that little fluke of a season. That doesn't count. Pretty sure they got bounced out in the second round.
Who knows when they were relevant, though? But after that, they fell.
They were not relevant at that time. It was a fluke year. The Knicks and Pistons are tied 1-1. This has been a great series so far. Detroit, with their win in Game 2, broke a 15-year postseason losing streak, which is the longest in NBA history. So good job, Detroit. I'm still pulling for you to make it out of the first round because screw the Knicks. And you know, Little Caesars Arena is going to be bumping Thursday night for Game 3. This is the first time they've had, playoff basketball since 2018-19, and they went into that, that Game 3 is down 2-0, so it wasn't, as good. This time it's going to be different.
And they have a better team, I'd say.
The Pacers lead the Bucks 2-0. This series has gotten out of hand. Game 3 is Friday. Dame returned. Didn't do much. Got into the face of Tyrese Halliburton. About all he did. Good to see him back, though, from the blood clot. If the Bucks, there's been a lot of speculation last night during the game, fans on Twitter. Today with Brian Windhorst saying on ESPN. If the Bucks are knocked out in the first round, which would be the third straight season, should Giannis want out?
He should, but he won't. He likes them too much. He won't leave.
I believe he will leave because he has grown frustrated with this organization. It does not help that he has Doc Rivers as his head coach, who came out today and said, "Yeah, I'm not worried about this series. Doc, you're down 0-2. You've been blown out in each game. Now you can say, yeah, they went on a run in last night's game in Game 2, and they almost pulled out a victory." It took him until 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter to figure out how to play the game of freaking basketball. If you're not worried, there's an issue. That's why Doc Rivers is one of the worst coaches of all time. He just sucks at his job. It's a miracle he still has a job. He should be like his son, Austin Rivers, who, I don't even know where he is now because he sucked at the game, just like his dad sucks at coaching. If you're the Bucks, you do everything you can to keep Giannis. You trade Dame. Dame is not who he was. You trade Kyle Kuzma, who decided that, the last time he was in the playoffs was with the Lakers because, he never made the playoffs with the Wizards because the Wizards are a poverty organization. Not me just taking shots at everybody right now. But, I mean, it's true. When was the last time the Wizards been relevant?
John Wall.
Exactly. John Wall before he tore his Achilles walking down the stairs.
After that, he was never the same. It's crazy.
Thanks. But you expect, Kyle Kuzma, first time back in the playoffs since the Laker days. He won a championship with the Lakers, played very well during that series, or during that championship run. What does he do in Game 1? 0 points. What does he do in Game 2? I don't even know, because I didn't really look. I didn't hear that he had the only people that showed up was Giannis and Bobby Portis. And Giannis needs to, after the game last night, now you don't go into I hope he changes how he goes from interviews with the media, because you got to look different for the media, to locker room presence. Because if you're a true leader, which I believe Giannis is, in his interview, he said, I have to be better. He knows what he has to do to be better. Giannis, you don't have to be better. You dropped 38 points, 18 rebounds, and 7 assists last night. You're the only guy on the court who showed up besides Bobby Portis, who had the best playoff game of his career. Who would have guessed that? Whenever you're in the locker room, you need to be, getting in guys' faces. I'd be getting in Kyle Kuzma's face, and I'd be like, play the damn game. We brought you here to score. You replaced Chris Middleton. Now, Chris Middleton was not good, really anymore because of all the injuries. But I'm pretty sure Chris Middleton was a lot better than Kyle Kuzma right now, which is sad to say. But, I mean, everybody said that this trade was bad, me included. I believe you included as well. I still don't understand it. It would be a miracle if the Bucks do not get swept. And I know they're heading home for games 3 and 4. It would be a miracle if they do not get swept. Also, so The Athletic did a little anonymous player poll that came out yesterday. The most underrated player in the league, it was voted as Cade Cunningham. Okay. The most overrated player in the league was voted Tyrese Halliburton. Tell me how Tyrese Halliburton's overrated. He has the most assists in the playoffs so far. He was one of the league leaders in assists this season behind Trae Young. He's turned into one of the best point guards in the league. He gets absolutely no credit because he plays for Indiana and nobody, cares about Indiana. You didn't hear one time somebody talking about Indiana at the end of the season when they went on a stupid run and got to the 4th seed. They almost got the 3rd seed from the Knicks. So whoever voted Tyrese Halliburton as the most overrated player is probably players who just suck ass. And you wish that you could be like him. And you know who should have been voted as the most overrated player in the NBA? Like DeMarcus Cousins said this morning on Run It Back, it's an easy decision. Look at what he did last night against the Lakers. Rudy Gobert, the worst 4-time Defensive Player of the Year ever. Shouldn't have won it once. Talking about awards. Peyton Pritchard won the 6th Man of the Year award over Malik Beasley. Looking at the numbers, because I did an article last night about Malik Beasley getting snubbed, you look at the numbers, Malik Beasley should have won this award. And it's not even close. Jalen Brunson won the Clutch Player of the Year award tonight. Everybody knew this was going to happen. He's the most clutch player in the league. The Knicks are one of the most clutch teams in the league. They were not one of the most clutch teams in Game 2 against the Pistons. Also, Game 3 of Pacers-Bucks Friday. Be prepared for another blowout. The NBA playoffs. This is the highest rated opening weekend in 25 years. The game is back. Moving on to baseball. Spencer Strider lands on the IL with a hamstring strain. That's another huge blow to the Braves. The A's call up Nick Kurtz. I'm going to put a pause in the middle like they told the announcers for the A's to do. Kurtz has been on fire at the minor league level. Do you think it's too early for them to call him up? The A's have looked good this year. Albeit they're playing in the Little League part, basically.
No, I mean, usually it's when you want to bring up your prospects who've been off file, see if they can continue their success. Will he stay with the team for the rest of the year? I don't think he will. I think he'll drop back down. I think he's just coming up for, a little toe dip to see if he can.
I think it's interesting because he's a first baseman.
Yeah.
So is Brent Rooker, who's been playing DH. They tried him in the outfield.
He can't do it.
And also Tyler Soderstrom, who's been arguably the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed this? Is also a first baseman.
Yeah.
He can also play catcher, but I don't think they're going to replace Shea at catcher because really all the hitters have been doing good.
Yeah. I think Nick is kind of just going to be one of those guys that platoons for right now. Maybe give Brent a couple days off, something like that, and switch on and off DH for a little bit. But maybe it's a little tad only. But it's the A's. Get them up. You're playing good. Maybe it gives you an extra boost, and you guys play even better.
I mean, to be honest, besides the Rangers, they're the best team in the AL West.
Yeah. Because
the Astros have been terrible. The Mariners can't hit. And then the Angels have been good, but the Angels are going to eventually fall.
Yeah.
It's already started to happen with Logan O'Hoppe. It didn't help that he got hurt.
Yeah, and Trout.
Trout has not gotten hurt yet, though. Keyword yet.
Yeah.
Luis Arraez is placed on the IL with a concussion after a scary collision on Sunday Night Baseball. It's a big blow to the Padres, who are the best team in baseball right now. I will talk about the Padres here in a second with one of their top prospects. Blake Snell is set to pause throwing after left shoulder inflammation. I would say this is a massive blow to the Dodgers, but they have enough pitchers to cover.
Yeah.
What is a massive blow to the Orioles rotation that has just been decimated by injuries? Grayson Rodriguez has a lat injury. He is weeks from throwing. The Orioles are 9-13. They're playing the Nationals right now. They're losing to my Washington Nationals. They lost yesterday as well. They are 4th in the AL East. Most of you can blame pitching as a main reason, but the hitters haven't been good. Really, nothing's been good. Apparently, their manager, what's their manager's name? You know?
I don't remember.
Okay. I can't remember either. Apparently, he has lost the locker room and has completely lost it. You usually don't hear that with baseball.
Yeah.
You hear it with football, you hear it with basketball, mostly basketball. But he has lost the players. And if it doesn't change, it's probably going to have some changes in Baltimore. Talking about the Orioles, your Reds defeated the Orioles 24-2 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about 2 players, including your favorite player. First off, Austin Wynns he went 6 for 7, 6 RBIs and a home run. And then your boy, Noelvi Marte, went 5 for 7, 7 RBIs and 1 home run. He has also been on absolute fire since being called up. So, go ahead. Gloat. Gloat right now.
I'm not going to gloat. Man.
Gloat.
It's only been a little bit.
Gloat.
But
you know you want to.
He should be the starting third baseman or DH. Maybe he's back in the voids. I don't know. But keep it going, my man.
Maybe he's back on the Royals.
But I love to see it. Love to see it.
I saw this game, and I saw the 24-2. I was in the middle of writing an article, and it came up, and I was like, I need to look at this. And the first thing that came up was, Wynns and Marte have an amazing game on ESPN. And I'm like, there's only one Marte. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, please don't be Noelvi. Like, no offense to Noelvi. Like, he's a solid young player. But I just didn't want to listen to you. And then I read it, and it said Noelvi Marte. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Talking about a young player, Padres' top prospect and the number 17 prospect in the MLB, Leo DeVries, had himself a historic game on Tuesday at high A level. Or an article about this, his manager compared him to Michael Jordan.
Oh, crap. I mean, he is good, but is he Michael Jordan good?
In the game, which his team needed everything, I don't remember, the Fort Wayne Tin Caps.
Yeah.
They won 15-14 in this game. And they needed all Leo DeVries of what he did because he hit for the cycle, including 2 home runs. He had 8 RBIs, which tied a Tin Caps record. He is the 3rd player in Tin Caps history to hit for the cycle. Pretty good game for the 18-year-old.
It's pretty good. It's really good. Very young.
If you want to read more about it, please read my article on Athlon. It did not do as well as I thought. I thought that, somebody, you see Padres' top prospect compared to Michael Jordan, it popped. It didn't.
Did you do one about Noelvi?
I was disappointed. I did not, because I did not, I was writing basketball that day, and I didn't. I think somebody already covered it, so somebody did it. Moving on to other sports.
I actually would have read that one.
No, you wouldn't have. Moving on to other sports, Justin Thomas breaks his losing streak. He wins the RBC Heritage in a playoff over Andrew Novak. Garrick Higo, I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he won the Corrales Punta Cana Championship. I love when the Corrales Punta Cana comes around. The Zurich Classic is this weekend. NASCAR was off last weekend, except for the Truck and Xfinity race. Of course, the Xfinity race I wrote an article about this. Jesse Love, and it blew up. Jesse Love won at Rockingham, and then, failed post-race inspection, and today, NASCAR said, you know what, Richard Childress, screw you, and they shut down the appeal. So it does not count. Unfortunately, Sammy Smith won the race. But NASCAR is at Talladega this weekend. Who wins?
Anybody. Jeez.
40 drivers to choose from.
No crap. I can't go with the Penske car because they suck this year.
Ryan Blaney's been good. He's had terrible luck.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Cindric. Screw it. Penske car. They figure it out. They always figure something out at plate races. I'm going to go Austin Cindric.
I'm glad you did not take mine because I'm also taking a Penske driver. Joey Logano finally turns it around this weekend. Oscar Piastri won the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's now back-to-back wins for him. F1 is off until May 4th, where they will be at Miami. They have a week off. The hockey playoffs have begun. I didn't even realize this last week, or we would have done our predictions, but I'm going to ask you your prediction here in a second. Just to tell you, everybody who's first is a higher seed. When you go down 4, so the Kings are the last one, and the Capitals or the Hurricanes are the last one. So just make your pick. Could be completely wrong. Doesn't matter. I don't pay attention to hockey. So the Jets lead the Blues 2-0. I'm calling a sweep because the Blues suck. Sorry, all you St. Louis fans. Your city just sucks at sports. At least the Blues made the playoffs. Yeah. Unlike the Cardinals are going to because they've lost 7 straight games. The Stars and the Avalanche are tied 1-1. The Golden Knights and Wild are tied 1-1. The Kings lead the Oilers 1-0. The Maple Leafs lead the Senators 2-0 in the battle for Ontario. The Panthers lead the Lightning 1-0. The Capitals lead the Canadiens 1-0. And the Hurricanes lead the Devils 2-0. Of course, all the 1-0 games they play tonight, so you will know who wins. Whenever you listen to this. Who wins Stanley Cup?
Maple Leafs.
Wow. They finally break the streak.
Yeah.
You know, they're the best team in their conference. It's been an amazing year for their best player and one of the best players in hockey history, and Alexander Ovechkin. I'm going to go to the Washington Capitals. And Ovi get their second cup win. And now we're going to go into WWE WrestleMania.
Yeah. There was a lot of people saying it was a really bad WrestleMania.
Here, I'm going to tell you this. Usually I crap all over doing this. But this was my idea to put it on here. Because I actually watched it. Some of it. I did not watch the whole Saturday, Sunday. Because technically I watched it on my phone. I'm not going to tell you what platform. Because I don't want them to get banned. Because God knows I wasn't paying for Peacock.
I thought you had Peacock.
Nah, I think I do, but well, my mom does, but I don't really care. So I was in the middle. I was watching both WWE and basketball, mainly WWE because every basketball game on was kind of bad. Although the Warriors Rockets game wasn't terrible Saturday night, but
yeah, I didn't watch that game.
Yeah, no crap. You didn't watch anything this weekend besides WrestleMania.
I did. Now give me your insight.
No, you go ahead.
You go. The one that doesn't watch it goes first. I want your takes, how you felt, and everything.
I thought night 1 was much better than night 2. I didn't watch a ton of night 2. I watched the main stuff. Watched Becky Lynch come back, which was great.
It was a great one. It was a big one.
Randy Orton doing what he did to Joe Hendry.
That was awesome, dude.
What made it better was whenever he got up and, saluting him for actually showing up, and then he hit him with the RKO again, then did his move.
It was awesome.
It was great.
Heel Randy Orton is back.
And
did you see what he did to John Cena?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is going to be perfect for you.
Oh, yeah.
And then... I will say the final was
the John Cena.
Yeah,
it was kind of underwhelming.
It would have been much better if Travis Scott didn't show up. Now I love Travis Scott, but
if anyone should have showed up, it should have been Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Where was The Rock?
The best part of the weekend was Stone
crashing the ATV into the wall,
and then the woman that basically after he got off the damn thing, flops. It's like, you're not getting anything from WWE. It wasn't even close to hitting you.
I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Whenever he started making the laps around, I'm like, he's going to wreck it. Like, he was drinking beforehand anyway.
He wasn't that happy. Shut
I knew he was going to wreck it, and then he did. I was like, there you go.
And he just gets off it, and it's like, yeah! Yeah, night one was way better, in my opinion. I think all the matches in night one was pretty good. Even the tag team match was good, and I was not excited about the tag team matches. But my favorite match was probably the LA Knight and, Jacob Fatu.
That is one that I did not watch.
I love both of them. Those are my two favorite guys in WWE. Not of all time, but in WWE now. The Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair match was pretty damn good.
I did watch.
That was a pretty good match. Even the Jay Cargill and Naomi one was good, and I did not think that one was going to be that good.
I watched like half of it, and then whatever I was using, it kind of just went out. And so it wouldn't like reload, so I was trying to find other things, and by the time I found it, it was over.
It was actually a really good match. I mean, WrestleMania was good, in my opinion. The entrances could have been better, I thought.
The best match of night one
was the CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The betrayal of Paul Heyman, and now Seth Rollins turning heel again is going to be pretty awesome.
And then Paul Heyman showing up on Pat McAfee's show. And
yeah.
Let's just say he's never going to show up on ESPN again.
Yeah.
He said some things that you should.
Yeah. But his name is Paul Heyman. So, WrestleMania was great. I loved it. I know a lot of people say this is the worst one ever. You obviously has not watched the older ones, some of the older ones, back when WWE was like super PG and poopy. So, this was a pretty good one. The entrances could have been better, I thought. The best one, though, was probably Tiffany Stratton's. With the Bobby box. I like that one a lot.
I don't like Seth Rollins, but his. Rechanged the. Came out all black, then he changed it to all white.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Some of the entrances were just kind of bland. You know what I mean? That's what WrestleMania is kind of more about, is, the entrances. You want to make it big and special, and well, there wasn't none that were big and special. I mean, of course, Becky Lynch coming back after. Hell, it's been a while since she's been in it. Been back. That was a good one. And then
CM Punk's was good with having Living Code there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That match was just awesome, though. That might have been the best match of the weekend, in my opinion. You did not know what was going to happen next. Like, I did not think Paul Heyman was going to turn on Roman Reigns. I knew something was going to happen with CM Punk. It was looking towards that way. But then siding with Seth Rollins was insane. And then Monday Night Raw, which I haven't watched all of it. But best moment was the Randy Orton doing the spin, Joe Hendry's move.
Along with Gunther choking out Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that was pretty, yeah. The Jey Uso one, I really wish he wouldn't have just tapped. That was really lame. It should have been the 3-tap, not just the tap to submission.
It's also why he attacked Pat, who did not tap.
Yeah. But, yeah, Backlash is looking good already, and I'm very excited. So, you gonna watch Backlash? I mean, you've already watched,
To be honest, after last night's thing,
looking freaking
or after Monday, I actually looked up tickets.
No expensive. And ain't they sold out?
Like $150. It's not sold out yet.
It's not sold out. If you would have went, if you could have went with me and, a fellow listener.
He's not a fellow listener anymore.
Oh, well. You probably wouldn't have paid the price that we did.
Yeah, no shit.
So, but, yeah. I'm very excited. Randy Orton versus John Cena is just going to be... it's going to be an awesome match. And, Randy Orton, I'm going to go freaking nuts because I love Randy Orton. And it's heel Randy Orton, so who the hell knows what he's going to do? He has the voices in his head, and who knows what those voices are telling him to do,
You dumb.
Out of 10, your WrestleMania experience,
I will say
non-WWE.
I don't think I've ever watched a WrestleMania.
This is my first,
and I used to watch WWE.
This was my first WrestleMania I've watched live, like as it was happening. I've watched a bunch back, like the older ones. It's like Stone Cold and stuff.
Yeah, that you will watch probably on like YouTube.
Yeah, this is the first one I've watched as it was actually happening. out of 10,
I give it a
your
7.
forced experience.
So
7. I would say about a 7. It was pretty good. There were some things I didn't like, but of course.
It would have been better without Travis Scott.
Yeah, that kind of ruined it. Now, if it was The Rock that came out in the field, now that's a different story, because he is the one that you sold your soul to, not the Travis Scott. But I am very excited. Let's see what's going to happen. Got Friday Night SmackDown. Then you got Raw. Then Friday Night SmackDown. Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. Again. Then Backlash, baby. Who knows what the... This is the best time for Backlash. I'm sorry we're going on WWE, man. You don't like it? I don't care. You can leave. I don't care. So, this is, Backlash is going to be good. Who knows what storylines we're going to get? Because at the WrestleMania, you get a bunch of new storylines, a bunch of new people turned heel. We already have Seth Rollins turned heel, Becky Lynch turned heel, Randy Orton's turned heel. Who else? Cody Rhodes may turn heel again because he lost the belt. But I am very excited.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
That's all I got.
Thank you guys for listening. Enjoy the NBA and NHL playoffs. I'm enjoying the hell out of... I even watched some NHL the other night. Playoffs. I'm enjoying the hell out of NBA playoffs. They've been great so far, besides some of the blowouts. You just got to watch the right series. Like the Clippers Nuggets series.
Top tier.
It's perfect. It is perfect. Also helps covering it. Enjoy NASCAR at Talladega. Probably going to see a flip. Probably be... Oh, we're not at Daytona, so it won't be Ryan Preece.
It's true.
And, of course, enjoy baseball and the NFL draft. That's what I'll be doing. Waiting to see the Packers pick another crappy player in the first round. So thank you guys for listening. Come back here next week. Peace.